Hey friends, are you looking for some fun winter activities, things to do in Lapland, Finland, specifically Rovaniemi and that area? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our recent trip to Finland and some really cool excursion options that you have there. My wife and I just spent a whole week in Lapland, which is like the northern part of Finland. I just want to give you guys some recommendations, some things to expect, tell you a little bit about how I planned this trip, and some pointers that will hopefully help you on your trip. The first excursion we had was a reindeer Northern Light safari. Now this trip was our first time meeting reindeer. Fun fact, there's actually more reindeer in Lapland than there are people. So you're gonna see a lot of reindeer farms and just a lot of opportunities to meet reindeer. My wife, you know, she's an animal lover and she went a little far and was kissing some of them on the nose, but anyway, it was really cute. So this was cool because they take us out in the evening. It was like from 8 o'clock till 11. We go out kind of far from the city. We got to meet the reindeer on their farm. There's a reindeer pulling each couple. So me and my wife had our own little sled, reindeer pulling us. There's a guide with us just kind of making sure we all stay on the path. That night it snowed. There's no lights anywhere, but even though there's no lights, I guess since there's so much snow, the reflection, you could actually see. So it's dark, but you could see. And I don't know, there was just something magical. It looked really beautiful and I don't know, like a dream or something. After the ride, they actually took us into this wooden hut where we got to warm up by a fire and we cooked some sausages on the fire. He had some other treats and some hot tea. We had a really good time just meeting people. And I, joking around, I asked our guide, I was like, oh, I heard that part of this tour included the guide singing a traditional Finnish song. And he's like, oh, well, I happen to be singing in some festivals soon. I'll just share the song with you. And he sang something.
Vuosisata muuttui koko linnunrata, rakkaus tuo säilyi vain. Kumpainenkin tahollansa aattelivat toisiansa.
I don't know what the song is. If any of my Finnish friends out there know what he's singing, let us know. The next one I want to tell you about, this was a little rough, but it was like a 5-hour tour that we booked. It included snowmobile, reindeer farm, and like a short ride on the reindeers, husky farm, and also a little husky ride. It had all these 3 things. I just thought, oh, this is gonna be awesome. 5 hours, yes. You must keep in mind how cold it is. 5 hours out in below zero weather, for somebody that's not a local, that's a lot. I mean, it was cold for anybody really, but the reindeer ride was probably like a 5-minute ride, and then the husky ride was like a 2-minute ride. So we had these fun expectations about that, and it was like here. It was cool that we got to meet the reindeer and interact with them, and the dogs, we were hoping we would get to like pet them and stuff. However, the dogs kind of seemed scared of people, at least at this farm. So I don't know, it was just a little off-putting for us because we've done husky rides in Colorado several times and it was a way different experience, you know. After we do these short rides, there was just these very long gaps of nothing. So yes, they have some places to stay warm, but you know, after each little activity, we're waiting around for an hour before we do anything else. This particular thing, I probably wouldn't recommend it. It's just too much to do in one day and just too much time being wasted. By the time we got to the snowmobile, which was like the longest part of the trip, we were just freezing and just uncomfortable. Oh my God. All right, we just finished the snowmobile. I had the intention pulling my phone out a few times and recording us riding, but nah, we are freezing. We're pretty much done.
Numb.
And we love snowmobiling. We've done it several times in Colorado, like I said, but we were just so cold that it wasn't fun and we couldn't wait till it was over. Again, we felt like they were trying to waste time, just going in circles and taking a lot of little breaks to pretend to talk to people. I'm not even gonna say the name of the company, but I wouldn't recommend this particular one. And if you're gonna do a long excursion like this, I would say maybe not in the middle of December. It's just too cold to enjoy. A girl in our group actually almost passed out, like she was seriously sick. So whatever, we had an adventure. We got to experience probably the coldest we've ever been in our lives that day, but no regrets, baby, it's all good. I'll tell you this much, that was the night that we finally used the sauna, and it was amazing. Amazing to recuperate in a sauna after that long of coldness. The other excursion we had, this was our second to last night that we'd be staying in Finland, and this was the one where we were hoping to really see the Northern Lights. And that Friday, the skies happened to just clear up. We did this Northern Lights tour. Our guide, her name was Maria, she was super cool, and she took us a good distance out of the city area. You know, you need these clear skies, no light pollution. She knew where to look, and so she took us a good ways out, and we're just out in some field near a frozen lake. It was beautiful. Like, even if we didn't see the Northern Lights, the skies, I mean, the stars were, I've never seen stars like this before. It was unbelievable. We got lucky. The Northern Lights were out that night. It was really cool. I brought my camera with me. I'd never taken like night photos like that, so I had brought a tripod and took some pretty cool pics. I was impressed with myself for my first time doing something like that. Surprisingly, even the smartphones, the newer ones, can even pick it up. I didn't think they'd be able to, but not the same as the camera, but it still picks it up. Must let you know though, for anyone that's expecting to arrive and see what you see in the photos and the videos where there's super vibrant green and pinkish, purplish colors, it's not exactly that. The thing is, the naked eye can't quite pick that up. The cameras, however, somehow are able to pick that up. If it's very strong activity, then yes, you could see the greenish colors a little bit, but what it really looks like, it's a little more grayish than anything. A little kind of grayish with a small hint of greenish to it. That's something that not everybody knows, so it's very important that you go knowing it's not going to be exactly what you see in pictures. Still beautiful, still amazing. We were just blessed. We felt so excited because we didn't think we were going to get to experience this on this trip just because of how the weather was all week. We felt very fortunate, and we're like, wow, our 10-year anniversary, and we got to see what we came for, you know? Another cool thing about that particular excursion is that our guide, she's a photographer and she had her gear with her, so she was taking pictures of everybody that was on the group with the Northern Lights in the background. We got to be in our pictures also, so it was awesome. We are very grateful for this excursion. For any of these type of excursions, just go with the mindset that it's gonna be like, for sure, over $100 per person. Like, I think that excursion itself for me and my wife came out to almost $400 US, maybe a little bit more. But just something to expect. It was interesting to me that tipping is not a thing over there. Here in the States, when you go to tip, it's just part of the process. But there's nowhere that you could put tips. Some places have the option, but it's just not a thing. Anywhere we've gone traveling that we do excursions, we're accustomed to leaving a tip with our guide. So for sure we tipped. When we had the opportunity at restaurants, we also tipped. But just know, it's not a thing. So kind of cool, you know, especially since we're already having an expensive trip as it is. It was cool to not have to worry about tips everywhere we went. As far as booking some of the excursions we did, and trust me, there's so many more things to look into, but some of it you could book on the actual website for the Santa Claus Holiday Village. Their website has everything. I mean, excursions, so many different hotel accommodations. It's just a good resource, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Some of the excursions we also booked on a website called viator.com, and it worked out good for us. So I'm gonna put those links in the description below. Hopefully it'll help you out. Final thoughts on our trip to Finland, Bully. You wanna hear what I think? I think this was awesome. We had a once-in-a-lifetime experience. People will go their whole life without even leaving the country, or let alone seeing the Northern Lights. We wanted to do something real special for our 10-year anniversary, and I mean, this trip was just such an adventure for us. Yes, we were freezing. This trip was just awesome, awesome. If I could give you a recommendation, if you're strictly looking to go see the Northern Lights, I would say maybe go late October, where the weather's a little bit more comfortable, and it's gonna be less cloudy also from what I heard, so you'll have a better chance. I do hear that in like January, the activity is a little stronger, but the winter is a little harsher, so you may not even see this strong activity because it's too cloudy. So my idea would be go in October or even like February, March. If you're a Christmas fanatic like my wife and I are, it's just so beautiful everywhere. It's literally a winter wonderland, and if that's what you want to experience, I highly can recommend. Yes, go in December, go in the winter time and enjoy Lapland, Finland, because it's quite an experience and it's an adventure of a lifetime. We go to all kinds of places, a lot of the different states. We do some hiking. We like trying out some different booze and talking about it and just trying to grow this YouTube channel. So if you like it, please subscribe And I say cheers to friendship, love, and happiness, and adventures. Travel, folks. Cheers.
We're gonna meet Santa.
Hey guys, hope you liked that video. If you want to keep watching us on our trip in Finland, subscribe to the channel, all right?